Future Peers is a friendly mobile web application for students to be able to have a clear sense of what they want to do with their education. This application targets high schoolers to engage with post-secondary students. They can see posts related to education and advice about life, comment on them, search a specific post, and make new friends and peers through messaging. The reasoning behind this is because many senior high schoolers reach a certain point in life where they are required to make a challenging decision. This can impact their future. Each decision is critical, which is why this application is useful for students who want to carefully plan their post-secondary plans and clear any doubts in mind. Some challenges we faced is that our web was too complex to create at the time being. The solution to that is that we simplified it. We started off with NativeScript, but even though we simplified it, it was still hard to add features into it since NativeScript was actually quite limiting. We then switched onto Vue.js in Code Sandbox, and that expanded our ability to add more features. So we focused on Jada. Jada's high school hosted an assembly about post-secondary options, which left her feeling anxious and confused. All of her friends already have an idea, making her feel like she is left behind. She kind of have an idea what she likes, but she does not know how to prepare for a portfolio or any application process. As well, she wants to know more about campus environment and how different it is from high school. She feels hopeless and needs guidance. Her goal is to find her dream school and the best program that fits her needs. Jada has realized that it is critical for her to make a decision now. She feels anxious and pressured due to the fact that her friends are already pursuing their future. She feels confused and feels the need to step up and take action. Environmental factors. She spends most of her time in school and does her homework at home. This is the busiest year in her high school, so she feels stressed, but she knows that although she is facing a big challenge, she needs to face it and accomplish success. She usually uses her phone and she owns a laptop. Persona. For our persona, we have Jada, Jessica, and Emily. These three personas have different situations where it requires them to use Future Peers. However, we mainly focused on Jada because she represents the majority of the students in school. Since in our previous slide we already learned a bit about her, I will briefly describe Jessica and Emily. Jessica is also a high school student that represents the academic students. Unlike Jada, Jessica had already applied to university that she wanted to go to and got accepted from all of them. However, the issue she's facing is which of these universities would she go to? So, Jessica wants to do an in-depth research about the university reputation, environment, and campus life to ensure it doesn't affect her studies. With Emily, she is an OCAT student who joined the Peer Mentor Club because she enjoys helping others. She recognized the importance of sharing advice and information, so she wants to ensure that others feel the same. She is also very active in her school and loves to get involved with social media. She was also once like Jada where she was struggling to choose her program. In her case, she did not receive proper guidance and therefore chose the wrong program and wasted a year. But later, she found the program that suits her from the help of her friend in this application. For our design, we wanted to create something that is easy to understand and not overwhelming. We have a title page where it allows for students to feel welcomed and not feel intimidated by the application. A friendly picture and a huge button that can get their attention and immediately know to click it. Also having a description of the application to understand what they are getting themselves into. We started off with NativeScript, then switched to Vue.js in Code Sandbox. We focused on the post page and it is similar to social media. We added tabs to make it easy to navigate, and to understand our application better, we used Jada as a way to see how the application would look in use and gave her a profile. We also added a feature where when you tap onto the post, it will take you to a new page, and there is also a tracking system with the calendar. There is also a messaging tab.
Hello, now I'm going to introduce you with the user cases. This diagram is basically a system of the application called Future Peers, and here are two different types of actors. The primarily actor is the student who's gonna initiate the use of the system, and the secondary actor would be the advisor, which would be on the position of reactionary. This actor will mainly be taken by university students as the register and login is required for their student numbers. And throughout here, you can also see all the association relationship. They include relationships, they extend relationship, and all the generalization relationship. You could also have a view of their extension points, and there are also children tasks as well as some notes. Here's a task breakdown as well as a hierarchy tasks of how Jada find her dream university and her goals. First of all, she thinks of the programs that she's interested in, and then finding keywords on the search bar, and then adding comments and questions below the blog. Then she receives all the answers, and so she could compare different programs or universities that relate to her keywords. And after that, she could find an advisor, which relates to students who are from the relative universities, and talk with them, have a private chat, or maybe have a meeting, have a coffee time. Then she's gonna be aware of her goals as well as her dream universities. And finally, she could make her plans on the calendar, adding the important dates and do a lot of preparation for her goals. And this is a task breakdown quant, as well as a storyboarding. This tells the whole story of how Jada sets her goal of the university. Basically a similar thing, but this is most likely a more detailed and more complicated tasks diagram. So as seen in the diagram, you can see at the beginning, she didn't have a goal at all, but she kind of know what her interests are. So at the finally storyboard, she completes all her tasks. She listed all of them into the calendars and also the to-dos below the calendars. So from here, we could see throughout the whole progress, she could complete her setting of the goals. And this is the interface design, which is also the wireframe. And here we started to think about what's our application or website should be look like, which functions should be placed into those blocks or buttons or the other components. Should we have a navbar, and in where should we build each different functions, where should we place them? Throughout the process, we kind of had a very big concept of what we're gonna do for the detailed prototype. And after all the discussions from the previous content, we kind of built our prototype development in a prototype software. And through the prototype, we made this around 7 to 8 pages to include all our contents and all the functions we would like to achieve and make sure they have a clear view. We would probably add more functions later, but at this point, we're trying to code by using this form. In the document, you could see all the detailed prototype with high fidelity, and even with the prototype in use YouTube video, we posted a link in the document, so you may have a clear view of what we did in the prototype.
In conclusion, this is a report of Future Peers, where it is a web that can help students in deciding their post-secondary outcome. We faced many struggles and challenges that led us to adjust our web and switch into a different coding program. We implicated our persona, Jada, into the application and elaborate on her situations and how she handled it with our web. Software engineering provides an in-depth vision of our applications if pursued any further. In terms of future thinking, we could definitely add more features into this app that can definitely attract more students and have more features that can help them organize and get them a better idea of what they want to do with their life.